Today, we're going to crack open a really powerful idea from Rich Dad, Poor Dad that honestly, most people get wrong. It's the concept of minding your own business. And no, it's not about being polite or staying out of drama. It's a total mindset shift that could literally change your financial life forever. So let me just start by asking you this. What if the one thing you count on for your security, your job, is actually the single biggest thing holding you back from real wealth? I know, that sounds crazy, right? Especially if you're making good money. But stick with me here, because the answer is the key to understanding how wealth is actually built. Okay, so what in the world does minding your own business really mean then? Well, it all comes down to a super important distinction that most of us are never, ever taught to see. And that's the huge difference between your profession and your business. They are absolutely not the same thing, not even close. And this right here is where the light bulb goes on. Your job, your profession, that's where you spend your time, your energy, your best ideas, all to build up your employer's assets. Just think about it for a second. The work you do makes their company more valuable. And for that, they give you a paycheck, which, let's be honest, is usually just enough to pay your bills and make sure you show up again next Monday. But your business, oh, that's a whole different game. Your business is your own personal collection of assets that work around the clock to put money directly into your pocket. This just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the trap that so many of us fall into. We work so hard, we climb that corporate ladder, we chase the promotions, and all the while, we're just making someone else's empire bigger and stronger. The big secret here is to stop just building their empire and start building your own, even if it's just one tiny brick at a time. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, so should I storm into my boss's office and quit my job tomorrow? And the answer is absolutely not. This is so important. The whole strategy here is to use your day job as a foundation. It pays the bills, it covers your expenses. And then you take your extra time and any extra cash you have, and you start building something on the side that belongs 100% to you. And as something you're building, that is your asset column. This is your real business. It's a portfolio, a collection of things you own that put money in your pocket without you having to trade your time for it. It makes money for you while you're sleeping, while you're on vacation, while you're at your day job. This is the end game. So how do we actually build this thing? I want to be really clear. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's the opposite. It's a slow, patient, almost silent process. I like to call it the quiet wealth method. And the best way to picture it is to think about planting a tree. It all begins with just one tiny seed. Maybe it's the first 50 or $100 you put into a stock that pays dividends. Or maybe it's that small savings account you label future down payment. At first, it's so small you can barely see it. It feels like you're doing nothing at all. And then you just keep watering it consistently. You keep adding to your assets month after month, paycheck after paycheck. For a long, long time, the growth is painfully slow. You won't see much happening, your friends won't notice. It's a quiet, patient, behind-the-scenes kind of work. But then after years, and yeah, I do mean years, of that consistent quiet effort, that little sapling turns into a huge, powerful tree. Your asset column becomes this incredible engine, generating its own income, kind of like a tree dropping fruit every season. And eventually, it gets so big that you don't even need the shelter of your job anymore. That is what financial freedom feels like. Okay, so if we're going to plant this powerful tree, we have to be absolutely sure we're planting the right seeds. We need to know what's an asset and what isn't. And luckily, the test is dead simple. You just have to ask one question. Does this thing put money in my pocket, or does it take money out? Let's look at this. On one side, you have real assets. We're talking about things like stocks that pay you dividends, a rental property where the rent more than covers the costs, or maybe intellectual property like a book that gives you royalties. These all put cash in your pocket. But then look at the other side. This is where we all get tripped up. Your car? It just takes money out for payments, gas, repairs. That fancy watch? Same thing. Even your own home, and this is the big one, is a liability. Why? Because every single month, money flows out of your pocket for the mortgage, for taxes, for upkeep. It doesn't generate income. These things might feel like assets, but really they're just liabilities disguised as status symbols. And this right here is one of the biggest secrets of the wealthy. They focus all their energy and money on one thing, buying assets. They become obsessed with making that asset column grow,
even if it means they don't have the fanciest car or the biggest house. They are playing a completely different game than everybody else. A game of wealth, not a game of status.
All right, so how do you actually get started on this journey? The best part is that it's way more straightforward than you think. It's not about some huge, risky gamble. It's really just about changing how you think about money. The whole strategy is right here on this slide. Step 1, keep your job. It's your cash flow machine that funds the whole operation. Step 2, you start seeing every extra dollar you have as a little worker. You can either send it out to buy a liability, where it disappears, or you can send it to buy an asset, where it works for you and brings back more money. Step 3, your whole focus shifts. Yeah, a raise is nice, but what you really get excited about is watching your asset column grow. And finally, step 4, you have to be patient. You let time and the magic of compounding do all the heavy lifting for you.
When you boil it all down, it comes to this. Every single dollar you spend is a vote. You're either casting a vote for someone else's business or you're casting a vote for your own freedom. So the question you have to ask yourself every single day is, with this dollar, who am I voting for? My boss or my future?